What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Part 3, Building Las Vegas, and we are picking up here right on Las Vegas Boulevard. I've done a couple little things off camera. I will show you as we go along. Glad to have everyone back. Please smash that like button if you enjoy what you're seeing. Now, what I want everyone to do, and for those of you that have been following it, and I want to keep an open mind is my point. Doing something like this isn't always the easiest thing in the world. Reason being, every landmark and, every little thing in real life, of course, isn't in the game. So, you're going to have to improvise. You're going to have to use your imagination. You're going to have to kind of, keep your mind open is my point. So what I kind of want everyone to do in this episode is just kind of keep your mind open, and just think about it from my perspective. Think about it from someone's perspective that's playing this game, that's trying to recreate something in real life, where, every little thing that's in real life, of course, like I stated, isn't in the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually flip over here to an image that I actually pulled from Google Maps. This is actually a live shot of, and I'm going to actually flip over and look at it myself. This is actually a live shot of, for the most part, the scale area as to where we are in game. Now, this is right on Las Vegas Boulevard and Mandalay Bay Road. I guess we're looking at oncoming traffic, but this was probably the best screenshot I can get. And as you can see, the Luxor Hotel, which is actually a replica of one of the Great Pyramids in Egypt, where they built it to scale. I believe it's to scale in Las Vegas. Of course, there's no pyramids in this game. Of course, there's no, sphinxes in this game. So, like I stated, we're going to have to kind of keep an open mind here. We're going to have to try to put things, in place of that, in my opinion, will work. So, after reviewing, and I did spend a little bit of time here before starting the episode, I think the best thing to put there in place of the pyramid, in my opinion, would be the Unisphere. Now, I actually used the Unisphere in my last city, and I got a lot of comments about it, asking about it. It's actually a mod that replaces St. Basil's Cathedral, and my opinion is it takes up the correct amount of area. It's got the fountain look to it, and also it's got the the height, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and let's start here. Let's lay that down. And I want to just, like I said, I just want everyone to keep an open mind here. And this is a little bit different as opposed to kind of creating something, on your own. And by the way, I did get that mod working. So as you can see here, I actually have spots for 30 landmarks. Now, one thing I'd have to say that I don't know if they're able to do this, but you can't lay the same landmark twice. So once you lay one, that's it. You can lay, I guess, all 30 of them, right? Is there 30? I don't know. But for example, if I laid, well, I'll show you here with the Unisphere. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay down the Unisphere here on this corner. And now I can't lay it again. You get my point? So yes, it's cool. Yes, it allows you to add more than 3. But it's kind of a downfall too, because you can only add the same one, one time, I guess. But all right, so number 1, so Unisphere. I know it's not a pyramid, but I think it looks pretty cool. Now next, let's flip back to the screenshot there. Now you see the Luxor sign. In my opinion, it's almost looks like I guess you can use 2 different things in this instance, and I thought of using either. We have the Washington Monument, which in my opinion just looks just too tall. Like, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look to scale in comparison to real life. But let me blow your minds here real quick. Check this out. Now, how about that? A ground scrubber. Hey, I think it works. So if you can kind of see it here, like no Sphinx, of course, no pyramid, but we kind of got the size down and we kind of got the sign down. So hey, there you go. So that's just a cool way to start off the episode, in my opinion. I did a couple things here, and we'll show you. I did downgrade these roads here to medium density, more or less to get that center median there with the foliage. Also, we can add, and I haven't really done it. It might be kind of a tedious thing, But we can't forget that we actually can add these trees and whatnot on the sides of the roads. I can go through there. I'm not going to do it now. It's kind of tedious, but little things that you can do to kind of add to the feel of the groundscapes all through Las Vegas. Everything is beautiful there. Let's backtrack here a little bit. A couple things. I did finish up to the best of my ability the airport area here, and I think it turned out okay. The whole runway thing, as far as getting it a straight shot all the way across, I spent over an hour trying to get it perfect, and there's almost like an invisible line here. I don't know how to explain it, but you can't bud these runways up against each other, or at least I couldn't get it done. I started to kind of almost in a sense lose patience with it, so I said, hey, you know what? Let's try to get something just as practical. I know there's a road kind of going through it, but I think it looks pretty good. I did go ahead and complete this portion here. I know last episode I left with the roads not connected, but we got that all connected up. And one other thing I wanted to flip over here, I'm not going to really get onto the city, but I did create this is actually Spring Valley. And for those of you that know Nevada, Spring Valley is actually the city just off to the west of Las Vegas. So I'm trying to keep the names to scale as well. Just a couple little houses here, a power plant. I decided to go nuclear because I didn't want to really deal with the control net fiasco. Just a couple things, more of a utility city. For those of you that like to see what I did there, I can show you, but it's really not that much aside from some houses and a power plant. All in all, let's flip back, and I know I'm consistently flipping back to maps here, but let's flip back to the map we've kind of been using, the Las Vegas map. And I think for the most part, as you can see on the bottom left portion of the map, the Luxor is there as opposed to what we kind of use the Unisphere for, the sign, and also I was thinking the next best thing to do would probably to be installing that small monorail system. And I know monorails or maglevs in this game, you have to stay on top of roads. So I was kind of thinking on different ways I can do it, and I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world to just have a maglev that goes from the beginning or the city entrance to right there past the Luxor, right up when you butt up against Tropicana Avenue. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's see here. And now thinking about it, I guess I'm going to have to deal with ControlNet anyway because the maglevs do use ControlNet. So we'll once we get everything up and running, once we get people here, we'll deal with all that ControlNet, because I know you need plenty of people to employ those ControlNet facilities. Otherwise, they are not going to run properly. So, wow, man, these things are huge. Wow, they're a lot bigger than I thought. That's what she said. Let's see. I guess we can do it anyway, but I'd much rather it be... Let me try something here. I'd much rather it be the maglev stations, the smaller maglev stations, as opposed to those huge... yeah. I'm not sure the best way of doing it, though, because that, in my opinion, it's overpowering the whole... I don't know, I guess we can do it, but it's just overpowering it, you know? Let's try something here. Let's try something new. You guys are gonna be like, what the heck is this idiot doing? What is he doing? Genius at work here, people. Genius at work. And there we go, maglevs. Now, this is still kind of going to overpower it, but not nearly as much as it once was, using it on this main highway here. That main highway, those things are huge, so And again, guys, you know, for those of you that are watching, this is my idea of a remake of Las Vegas. This isn't, you know, some of you might be sitting there thinking, oh, well, I would have done this or I would have done that. Well, hey, more power to you. Go ahead and build your own. I'm not telling you not to, you know, but this is, in my opinion, what I think works. What my idea of a genuine remake would look like, using, you know, what's in the game, that is, and, you know, to the best scale model as you possibly can. And what else do we need? We need to do the garbage ground scrubber again here. So we'll put that here. It's not much, but you will see as we get everything built up, as we get people flocking through the streets, it's going to look good. I promise, people. I promise. So that is, for the most part, intersection 1. Let's go ahead and flip back to that Google Maps screenshot that I had. As you can see off to the right side, there really doesn't appear to be much. It almost looks like a parking lot. You know, I'm not sure. I believe off to the right, if you keep going to the right, is actually the airport, which to our model here, it actually is. Let me fast forward this because it looks like it's grass, like I stated in the previous episode. But this is kind of what it looks like. I'm thinking maybe just add a couple trees in here and leave this. I know it sounds crazy. It's a tourist town. We're going to try to build it up to the best of our ability. But I'm thinking we should just kind of leave this. No, it's too much. There we go. And we'll leave this as just kind of an open area. Maybe we'll add something small. I don't know. But so we can buy some power, some water, sewage. Those are the few things that I added over there. All right. So good. All right. So pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Only thing I'm thinking of now is how this is. I don't know if we were going to leave this just for the viewpoint, or if this is actually going to work. Even if it was connected, even if residents were to use it, I don't know how helpful it'll be. I think it's more just going to be for looks, which is cool. All right, so moving along now, people. So now next, if we want to flip back here to our map, the one that we've been so graciously following, the one that's in the description below. Now, our next main road is actually going to be Tropicana Avenue, which is probably one of the bigger intersections, as you know, as those of you may know it. This is actually the intersection where there's, you know, the Hotel New York, the Tropicana Hotel. I mean, this is pretty big here. So, let's take a look at this in the same perspective that we did the last intersection for. And I might have to look and see how we turn futurization off, because that looks kind of, I don't know. It doesn't look horrible, but I'm not sure how well that's going with our cityscape here. But all right, so let's do our next intersection here. So like I said, Tropicana Avenue. Okay, how did a dump truck get on that road? Please tell me. Can somebody explain to me how a dump truck got on that road when it's never been attached? Oh my god. Ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Anyway, moving on. So let's go ahead, and now we're going to take the similar perspective that we did the last intersection, and we're going to look at a screenshot of the next intersection. So let's go ahead. I'm going to throw this up here, and this is actually going to be, like I stated, on the left side there, New York, the hotel, the MGM Grand. This is actually where we're going to start getting the casinos put through here, and this is going to be a fun intersection to build, in my opinion. We'll go ahead and do this one this episode and then wrap it up. On the left side here, it's going to be very easy. We're going to go ahead and put our Statue of Liberty, and it's going to look perfect on this corner here. Okay, looks pretty sweet. And then, let's flip back. We're going to go ahead and on the right side, the MGM Grand. Now, and I even spoke of this in one of my previous videos. Um, there's one of the hotels, or excuse me, one of the casinos that actually looks a lot like the MGM Grand, and that's the Roman Luck Casino. And I think it looks very similar. If you can actually kind of get an idea. I'm trying to think of the best. It's actually on a corner. I think it'd be best to put it this way. Maybe we can change it. And then we can add in... Yes, that's what I want to. I like it like that. We want to kind of keep the focal point. We're not going to add all these in here. But I think that we'll get the sign in. Actually, you know what? Let me go down. I'm going to go down one. Because the MGM Grand really isn't that tall of a hotel. Actually going to kind of leave it like that, to be honest with you. Yeah. Okay. That works. I think it works. That'd be cool if we had a big statue to put in front of it. That would be sick. Alright. I think we'll be okay, and it'll actually be a little bit better being off of this road here as opposed to the main street here. Now, another thing I was thinking as far as this New York, little intersection over here, because this is going to, for the most part, fill up this whole portion here. You know, the Empire State Building, yes, we have it, and yes, it's part of the New York, but look at the size of this thing, though. I mean, yes, that is how tall the Empire State Building is, but in reality or in Las Vegas, it's not a scale model of the Empire State Building. Oops, didn't want to do that. But I was trying to figure out, well, what can we use in place of it that's maybe just a little bit taller than the Statue of Liberty? And I was kind of clicking around, and I'm really not all too sure. I mean, this Geralder thing is, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a good answer for that. I was thinking, I know there's a pretty big building with the Metals HQ. Actually, I didn't try that. Yeah, but that's just as big, you know? You can't downgrade it. This is like, again, like where you gotta kind of improvise. You gotta kind of think of something that would work, that would almost look the same. I mean, that's, I guess that maybe, I think that actually looks kind of cool. But I mean, it's not going with that New York, let's try something here. Let's try. Oops. And this is a low density road, so it's not creating any stoplights or anything like that. It's just there, basically. It's just there. Is it squawking about budget again? I guess these landmarks, they're a fortune, so. Slam some more cash down there. There we go. Where we at? Landmarks. Okay, so I don't know. I'm thinking the way I'm going is probably your best bet here. Man, they need to come out with another landmarks pack. I remember I think it was SimCity 4, they had a ton of landmarks. I'm wondering if maybe they have to pay out something to, as far as the... Now this is actually, I believe in Columbus, I want to say it's Columbus Circle in New York. This is actually not, I mean, this in particular, this arc is not the same one that's in New York, but they do have something very similar to that. This is actually really cool, being able to add multiple landmarks. I gotta say, it's quite a cool thing. I know in all the other cities that I've built, it's always been you know, just like one or two, and it's kind of annoying. Actually, I think 3 is the max, but... Now, let's flip back, because this is actually, I'll have to say, this is a little tougher than I thought it would be. I thought this was going to be kind of a breeze, and, you know, the game had plenty of things in it. I don't know, man. The Empire State Building is kind of... It's only just a little bit taller than the... I just don't want the Empire State Building to take over the whole city, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm kind of torn here. Unless we just leave the Statue of Liberty, and then we try to get some high density buildings back here, like commercial buildings. That's, I think, would be the best bet. I think I can. Let's do that, people. And we'll see how traffic plays out. We will see how traffic plays out. Alright, so for now, we're going to actually wrap this one up. I'm going a little bit long here. You got to get the idea, though, of where I'm going with this. And this city, or, you know, the road layout, in my opinion, is spot on. I mean, for those of you that want to kind of flip back, I'll leave this up here if you want to pause it. I mean, I think it's spot on. I think it did a great job here in creating a scale replica of the city itself, road-wise. Now, buildings, we're going to have to try. I think this is probably going to be our best bet here. And I will leave this kind of to run here for a little bit until the buildings start to sprawl up. And the highest building, I think, as far as commercial, I mean, we might top out here. I think it's going to look a lot better than sticking, let me show you one last time here before we hang up, the Empire State Building, which is an absolute monster. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. I mean, that, in my opinion, is just completely... I don't know. I'll think about it a little bit, and I will let you know. When those buildings come in, I will see how it looks. And if it looks cool, we'll leave it. If not, we might just go for the Empire State Building. But appreciate everyone for tuning in this little bit longer episode here. You get where I'm going with this. I hope you were able to bear with me on all those flip backs with the maps. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like for more SimCity, and we'll see everyone next episode.